Hey everybody, welcome back to Guns and Gadgets, your premier source for Second Amendment news. It's kind of late here, but I just came across this story here, and I thought it was something that I'd bring out to the masses. This took place in Virginia this weekend here, and just follow along if you would. So, one of the delegates in Virginia, who's this big part of this big anti-gun movement, let's take Bloomberg's money and stuff, his name is Mark Levine, and he's very, very anti-gun, spewing a lot of stupidity to try to get Bloomberg's ultimate goal pushed. He's pushing his agenda, one of the many that are not just in Virginia, but nationwide right now. Levine is obviously a Democrat, and he represents parts of Alexandria, Virginia, Arlington, and Fairfax. Gives you an idea of where he is. And he was the person who sponsored the assault weapons ban that was just defeated yesterday, HB 961. And, it wasn't defeated. Let me say that quick, because I don't want people to fall asleep on this. It was tabled to next year, pending an investigation or a study to see if it was worthy of so much of our stuff, our rights were worthy of a ban. So it will be back in less than a year, so stay tuned for that. However, this guy sponsored that bill. Big anti-gun dope, probably got paid very, very well from Bloomberg and Moms Demand Action and Every Town for Gun Safety. And this past weekend, Saturday afternoon, law-abiding armed citizen of Virginia showed up outside of Delegate Levine's property. He was carrying the state flag of Virginia, a sign that said "Withdraw HB 961." And he was carrying a shotgun, and he had a holstered .380 on him as well. Now, of course, Delegate Levine, who talks a big game, called the police, right? Because tyrants always call cops when their mouths write checks their ass can't cash. So this citizen's name is Brandon Howard, and if he hasn't blown up your news feed yet, his name will. He heads a group on Facebook. It's the Right to Bear Arms Virginia, if I'm correct. And he was the person who made a stance. Now, on this group, he gave Delegate Levine's address in a video, inviting people to join him there. And that is what the delegate is trying to jam him up on. Now, on Monday, just yesterday, prior to the committee vote on this bill, Levine addressed the chamber there and stood up vehemently, said,
"Thank you, Madam Speaker. I rise for a point of personal privilege."
Delegate Levine, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. On Saturday, a man with a large assault weapon with a large extended magazine came to my home. He stood outside my kitchen window for a couple hours or so. The Alexandria Police, and it's a very good, very professional police force, I asked them to ask the man if he would like to come to my office instead, to come chat with me in my office in Richmond, and if he did not want to do that, if he wanted to protest outside my office in Richmond. The man declined my offer through the police. Later on that day, I discovered his video manifesto, and I understood why he declined. He made it very clear in his video manifesto that it was very important to him to take it to my home, to come to my home with his loaded assault weapon. And he made it very clear that I was just to be the first, that he could find all of our homes. He could come to other delegates' doorsteps to make his point. His point was to coerce or threaten or otherwise encourage me to change my position on a bill. He also made clear that he was willing to use his gun if he didn't get his way. He said he would try persuasion and the courts and elections, but if that failed, he said that we should kiss our wives goodbye, kiss our husbands goodbye, kiss our children goodbye, because he would use the business end of his gun. Now, Madam Speaker, there are lots of ways to contact me. You can write me, you can email me, you can come visit me in my office. People do that every day, both with me and with everyone in this body. You can comment on social media. And in fact, when people do contact me in good faith and make suggestions on my bills, I often listen. I have amended many of my bills, so have most of us, probably all of us in this chamber. If you don't like my positions on legislation, if we can't reach an amendment, Virginians have other options. If they live in my district, they can run against me in the primary or in the general election. If they don't live in my district, they can move there and run against me. Elections are the way we decide things in the United States of America. They could also protest. They could also use civil disobedience. All of that's fine. But I suggest to you, Madam Speaker, and to everyone in this body, that what's not appropriate is to come to my house with a loaded gun to coerce me to change my position on a bill. That will not work. That will never work with me, and I suggest it will never work with any member of this body. Don't do it. That may work in North Korea or Russia or Syria or Somalia. But Madam Speaker, I would suggest that is inappropriate in the Commonwealth of Virginia. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Tough guy. Remember, this tough guy called the cops. But let's go back to Mr. Howard. Mr. Howard said that Levine has it all wrong, that he called his action Saturday a peaceful protest. Again, he actually says right here what he carried. He had a Rock Island VR 60 12-gauge shotgun and a Bursa Thunder 380 handgun. And he said that, quote, "My goal was to tell him that we the people will not tolerate tyrants stripping the rights of the law-abiding citizen. There was no coercion. There was no intimidation." Now, gets better. This coward, Levine, said, and of course he's a lawmaker. Now he's saying that he believes that Howard violated this particular Virginia law. It's in the codes of Virginia. It's section 18.2-186.4, and it's the use of a person's identity with the intent to coerce, intimidate, or harass. And because Howard gave out the address of Bobo, who is a public official, and at least here in Massachusetts, when you run for office, they publish your address because you have to prove you live where you say you do. It's all public information. You're nobody special, Delegate Levine. You're frickin' nobody special. But because he gave out his address, he thinks he violated this law, and he's trying to get him jammed up. Now, the police are investigating, and my hope is that they're not going to do anything about this. But typical of a tyrant, Jackass Levine said, and I'm going to quote this because everybody in Virginia needs to know this. What he said was that if what happened Saturday was not a crime, he will seek legislation next year to make it one. And his exact quote is this: "If it's not illegal, I'm going to be damn sure by next year it is illegal." That, ladies and gentlemen, is tyranny defined. Delegate Levine, you're a nobody, you're a coward, and you're just one of the people. You're nobody special. And I think with the politicians who think that they can just take away rights because they're afraid, what they need to realize is that the country is serious. And what you don't want to be, any politician, you don't want to be a habitual line stepper, because eventually you're going to piss off the wrong people. And this gentleman made you realize that he was serious. And you know what? There's a lot more people just like him. Anyway, not your typical video here, but this speaks volumes. This is one person who was a law-abiding citizen and had had enough of the tyranny taking place in Virginia. And he stood there, and he made a point. And his point was delivered, and it appears that his point hit its mark. Now, let's see what happens tomorrow if the police decide to take action against this person, Mr. Howard. But I say, good job. You used your right to assemble. You did it peacefully. but you sure as hell delivered a big message, and the Tyrant showed his true colors. Ladies and gentlemen, I would love to hear what you think about this. I'll put a link to this video in the description, but let's see what the comment section says. Please pass this along. If you haven't subscribed to the channel already, please do. This is where you get all the news on the Second Amendment, including stuff like this. I know it's late. It's a late video, but I think it needs to go up. Be safe, stay vigilant, and carry a weapon. Take care, everybody.